want you. Be careful. You're not raw. Stop nagging, bro. I'm gonna do it again. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Grand Elevations. So, yeah, Angel Flores, I don't think you saw yesterday, but thank you again for the 60. And Timius D. Hines, man, thanks for the 20, brother. Niggas round up, already got you. So, that's all in there. All right. I can't show you my. I don't know. Everybody's telling me to pull out of my you know, the stuff that I have going on in as far as who I have money with. For those of you who don't know, so I transferred money from Nike and a few other places to other, but other than that, regardless of that stuff, I don't want to show you that. Relax, buddy. Seriously. So, 100 right there. And in the bank account, I think it's, what did I say? It was like 60 something, whatever. I didn't even look. It's on my phone. And I get tired, even though I just use my thumb. Some people will be like, oh man, you're using your thumb, you're using your eyes. Dude, I had to do it in the military. I had to do it when I incorporated the SIM system. It's not like they don't have our blood and our DNA and everything else. So take a breather. You know what I mean? Just relax. So anyway, we're gonna get into reading Behold the Pale Horse. First, I want to say I appreciate everybody, the new subscribers. I talked to a young lady on the phone with OnStar. Hopefully she'll come over. I'm not gonna say her name. She'll introduce herself. She comes in, and we had a couple more people who are signed on. I hope they check the notifications. They continue to. I know a couple people says, dude, wasn't even seeing none of your stuff, and I'm subscribed. And I was like, then I realized the notification wasn't on, because when they did the update and the January update, all the notifications were off, pretty much, majority. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. I can just all tell you, hey, look. No, as far as last night, I really wasn't gonna go. I'm not gonna say I never felt like that before. I still feel the same way, kind of. I'm just gonna eat a little more. I don't want to make my stomach grow. I'm still doing my breathing and certain things. I gotta share this because some of you might come across or go through something, and the panic will set in. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you that panic is not the answer. Panic is what we've been taught. I love the fact that I'm seeing people post about the automobile, regardless of what they put out there. Hold on, let me see. My boy just sent me something. Would I be interested in buying a SIG AR sight for like $50? Hey Mario, just come on through with it, bro. I gotta have a look at it, okay, bro? Come on through. I miss you. I ain't seen, haven't heard nothing. So swing on through here with it, bro. Matter of fact, I'm live on YouTube. Check your notifications and make sure they're on, because I haven't seen you in the audience, my brother. That's my native Mexican brother. Well, anyway, West Side, I believe Trauma met him, Miranda, I believe they met him. But anyway, I just want to say I appreciate you guys. I will never stop saying that enough, because anybody take the time going, yo, go get checked out, who never really speaks, I appreciate that. We're dealing with some dire times. there's a lot of things going on, and for those of you who are aware of it, don't speak too much on what you're aware of. Share it with the people who actually, and I really dislike having to say this, but you can share it with family. Most of them may turn their nose up, turn their head. Let it be. We're in that time. A lot of things are corrupted, regardless of if you want to say people, things, animals, whatever. Yet I've seen animals come around and have more unity, and animals you would never even ascertain. I shared with some of you on Instagram the deer that's breathing through holes in his head, like a sack. And one individual who works in the medical field just laughed at it like it was funny. So that tells me that there's some individuals out there that carry themselves. I'm still eating pumpkin seeds, excuse me. I should chew on my food and swallow, right? Or whatever. Some people carry themselves in a certain way, like it's about love, peace, and harmony and love, and yet their whole responsive actions negate the reality of the situation of who they are. And you must allow yourself to acclimate and climb above that and partake on another personification other than that, which is still a stalemate, which is very, very disturbing. What did he just say? He just sent me back another message. So I have $100 in there, guys, and I appreciate you guys more than anything. This is Mario, Western Trauma, and Rondo. Mario, he wants to send me a SIG site. And you know how I feel about SIG sites. It's really, I mean, you know. And let me respond to him quick, promptly. Okay. How come my Facebook shut down for 60 days? I just got it back. Yeah, I don't care about Facebook and all that, brother. You live like 4 minutes away from me. Shut up with that nonsense, man. You're always welcome to come by. Stop being retarded. Oh, yeah, I'll talk to you the same way. Don't get it twisted. If you speak out of character of knowing me or meeting me, and I know you're saying something that addresses something that has nothing to do with reality, I'm going to sit there and say to you, what in the are you talking about? All right? And yeah, I was pulling my shirts down earlier and my buckle anyhow. But I appreciate you guys, I really do. I look at a lot of things that are going on, as I believe we all should, every day, regardless of what's going on with self. Yeah, I appreciate it. I should have touched the notifications on the phone. Anyway, I walked out this morning and I saw, no matter what you say, they're paying attention and what's going on. The reality of the situation is you have your reality, one that they've circumvented and created, and they have theirs, which they've been living in. And as I've ascertained and I've expressed from what I've ascertained in my travels and listening to people, doesn't believe I believe half of what I hear or nothing of what I see. I believe half of what I see and nothing of what I hear. It's just that they're going to spray because they are in that department. They are on that side. They are there. And that's where you're not. So you're on this side. What I need of you is to mature on this side and grow beyond where they believe they have you stuck. Don't worry about what they're doing no more. So when I walked out, I saw this. They've been going crazy all night. I slept with my windows open. And I said, well, if I breathed it in, well, cool. Not as if it's a good thing, or nor as a bad thing. It is what it is. Rondo, appreciate that. We'll talk about that. And you should share that with the group in our chat. Me, you, Wes, and Trauma. I think it's somebody else in there with us. We have a little private chat, which is beneficial, and I love a lot of stuff that they share in there. And I love to see that. But we have some work to do, and there's a lot more people that probably want to be involved, and they're stuck in other places. I'm not here to pull people from other platforms. I follow all those individuals too. And when I have the chance, I go and pay attention. But what I see is people sharing information that I've been sharing for decades. As if they share, and I've stated this before, do not do that. And I know people will come over here and they watch the video and they take it personal. Take it personal, because if I have to say your name, which I've done before, I'm not going to curse and all that foolishness. Unnecessary. I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to show people in this time and age, I'm going to show people for who you are and what you are. And you might not like it. And if you see your name within my description and you see it removed, that's because dynamically you have eluded yourself and put yourself in that position. And then there's no lying. You cannot come out of it unless you correct the malice or the fallacy to which you showed yourself to actually exist in. We can be lovely for 20 years, and in one day you can show your true self, and I can decimate you based upon that. When we accredit ourselves to portraying ourselves a certain way, we must stand there and hold that position. Do you know what hold that position, hold the line means? Do you know what it means? Do not give way, do not give sway, do not break the formation. Do you know the importance of that? Well, we are in the position we are because we had those who broke the formation, who did not hold the line, who chose to not walk solid together. We have those who said in their mind, in their thinking, their feelings and their emotions, that what they thought was solid and comprised of a solid foundation, and they have been wrong over and over. That is not holding in a line, that is not holding the formation, that is not having strength. Based upon your feelings and emotions, that is nothing but, most feelings and emotions are based upon desire. That's all it is. And desire means absolutely nothing if it is not steeped in the reality of what should be compared to what is. The balloon thing, I knew about it before the media even put it out. And what did they do? They softened it for you. They're great actors, aren't they? Did any of y'all even take the chance, because I don't like watching the media, to look at like 5 or 6 different media platforms and what they stated? That is nothing new. I'm just here to inform y'all. They bought land close to military installations. Now our veterans are all up. I know some personally who have had very young cardiac arrests and numerous other things, strokes. You won't hear it because, see, the media, if they were really about information, they would be steeped in that. No, they'll wait until their handler say, okay, they're getting a little hot, they still got fight in them, we don't have enough down to do the next phase. And they'll mention these things to calm you. For those of you who still believe in the media, who still believe that you can hold up in your position of where you're at and what you're doing and think that nothing can come of it, let me tell you something about Iraq. When everything is calm, trucks are driving and delivering, and all of a sudden, these drivers who just kissed their babies and everybody, had their fafalau and goat and curry goat and everything, and goat milk and or whatever tea, on the road doing their job, you know, and then while the sinister powers to be in this country that keeps war and turmoil going by way of the Vatican and the fake crowns and kings of so-called Europe, and them sleeping Negroes in Africa, them worthless ones, them guineas, planned and plotted, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 innocent people, believing to have a decent life, are now strewn all over the place, maybe incinerated, and then we have a bunch of pale skins here, training and calling out in all these different places, and they're looking for the worst of them, to indoctrinate into the secret government agencies where no constitution ever applied in the first place, where they could do these abhorrent things, run around, and they commit people by way of murder and death here on our own soil, this fictional government, just right, working with cohorts, to insert us into places of war that they create and should not be happening. And then they give you stories of things that have been happening since time immemorial with these individuals. And yet, we sit here still in the ghettos. I'm in the suburbs. I'm in a gated community. I'm well off. I don't think you get how unwell off you are in your aptitude for solidary ignorance. Solidary ignorance, like bandwagon lyrics. A group of individuals that believe in the same hypothesis, the same nonsense, the same foolishness, and yet you assert yourselves as if you know what you're talking about and that everything is well. I had somebody email me talking about, you look like a Greek god. I said, what is that? What is a Greek god? I am tired of these fallacies, these misnomers, these misuse, these foolish interpolations, these meanings that have no meanings whatsoever, except for the meaning that you stay out of the loop of truth and stuck in the formation of lies that you have been inserted to and have been inserted into you. So somebody put something up about cars. We built electric cars that ran on energy outside. The energy was not a battery. The Baghdad battery, that was something to pacify. Even that didn't work as they put it out there. If you pay attention to the drawing, you will see that it's pulling it from fireplaces. I've seen them. Used to have two big balls, electrodes, that through the ether, when the air was a lot more oxygenated, based on what's underneath in the basement, thermal cooling and heating generated electricity, which in turn generated heat depending upon the vectors and how things function. Hot water and cool water from the earth. Now, if you start spraying chemicals and putting a lot more carbon in the air, as was per se 1900s to the 1960s, well 70s, and then they want to start regulating, you do what? You are doing what is it called? What are you doing? Terraforming. Do you know what they did right under your nose while you were looking at terraforming Mars and terraforming Venus? And if we were to terraform, they were terraforming you. They were terraforming you, lowering the quality of the oxygen and everything else, because that stuff is heavier than air. So it's set right down on here. They're spraying and doing the same thing with more accurate, deadlier things that blow in certain directions that they can control. And yet you believe you're comfortable and safe. Did any of y'all get together and go down about 2 miles underground and build fortresses and stuff? Do any of y'all know how to do seismic readings without a seismic and know where to dig? The best place to be? Are you well aware that there are waves out in the ocean that reach over 4,000 or 5,000 feet? I don't think y'all really get it, because you only will move with the information you have been getting, instead of allowing yourself to change direction completely, to say, nope, no more. I got to do something. I got to manifest something. But no, you'll run to somebody over here who's talking about you are not the Negro. You are the Indian. Where are the boats, the pictures? I was the first one ever to say they had cameras then. So if the boat, say we went to 1865, where the pictures at, but you can see pictures and pictures of pale skins coming over here. And when I read it in a book, and we're looking at 1889, when 6 million came on boats. And where did they get all the wood and steel to build them ships? Who do you think were building them ships, which they never tell you in the stories? Because there's some people who are still alive who know who were building those ships. So we were master masons and shipbuilders, showing them how to repair roads and stuff before they went into these places to have these world fairs, and then to destroy them by way of wars that were ongoing to further get rid of the elders. And that's why there was a truth about people fighting from 7 to 75. Our people were very in shape and could fight very well, but everyone dies. And yet here we have people, every time they come across a piece of information, they share it as if it's theirs. The information has always been everybody's. And I'm tired of seeing that, because I know they have been paying attention, and I've unfriended many people. And they go share this information, and y'all sit there like the little jujuberries on a tree, like, oh, wow. And I'm sitting there going, you just don't get it, do you? Most people didn't even want to read until I started saying, read, man, read. So people started asking me, send me some pictures of books, this, that, and other. Since MySpace. And I've been doing this nonstop. And it's beautiful to see people doing it But stop the ego shit. The stuff, excuse me. Share the information. Tell people to purchase the books. They're all out there. So much information. But make sure that it was meant for you to read and do this. Now we have one lady, Navi Poet's excellent at reading. She finds some excellent information. There's still stuff that's been downloaded from microfiche into the digital, which if you use keywords, like I used to tell people, look for old newspapers and you can pull the whole articles up and take the time and scroll with the magnifier and look at everything. And you'll be amazed at what you come across. Most people choose not to do that. And then somebody else deliver it, and then they'll run around memming people to death with more fake memes. Some of the memes I've seen are the worst in this world. But then you have those who are astute and they find out the information that is worthy. Those are the ones I applaud. And now we have these young brothers in their 30s. Oh, I've been doing this all my life. And I'm sitting there going, here we got one. There you have it. And the funny thing is, some of us who always pay attention to everybody, remember the befriending and remember the conversations, the arguments we receive with certain individuals that we were entertained with fun. We get blocked and be like, that was fun. Because we know trolls are dumb. All right. We used to troll some of the trolls on their pages. But I did it for fun. I didn't care. I don't care how somebody feels and what they think. I have no feelings that compel me to have feelings for their feelings, nor their emotions. I'm not broken like that. You have people that are doing some very good work. So if you want to know, or you have the aptitude and you have the appetite for these certain things, whether it be law, other readings on names, locations, events, there are those doing them. Me, I'm going to hit everything. I have every kind of book you can think of. I have more information than enough. And then I have oral. Oral is what was passed down in our generations, our families. And that seems to be what's been turned into myth and easily dismissible. Because our people have been so well indoctrinated by John D. Rockefeller, the OSS, now CIA, and all the UN and all the other government fractions. They handpick individuals based upon how they move and what they see. No, it's just one or two, maybe out of a couple million, but you better believe it. They pick the best narcissists, sociopaths, the sickest individuals who walk around, could pass for the most excellent individual, and yet be an Ed Gaines. All right? Seriously. And that's what you have to deal with. So what are y'all going to do? Y'all going to start making some better choices, some changes? What's it going to take to get people to go, oh, wow, it's so late. We should have done this 2 years ago. Well, you weren't informed. The majority of you were. I don't like if you weren't. We all could have been on land. We didn't have to be in no Hebraic movement like Pastor Dow. We could have all been together already, greenhouses, farming on the land. You could have gave up the fake world and already been in a new world that you put your blood, sweat, and tears in. But now here it is, you're all sitting there like bumps on a log. I'm in a marriage, I've got the job, and this, that, and the other. Y'all don't want to do nothing that's worth something. Oh, when I said I'll do an open door, I'll put pamphlets out in the store saying I'm selling everything where I'm at. Y'all walk through this mug, whatever you see, I'll tell you the price, you put it in a bag, you leave. And I'll be on the road. TVs, everything. Y'all aren't able to do that because you're stuck. And you remember that post where I had the FNG? F and new guy? A lot of y'all are still at. And then some of you always want to have, what's the plan? What's the plan? Somebody could give you a plan. Plan's been laid out 1,000-fold. You'll never accept it because you don't know how to detach. You don't know how to move away from your distractions. You don't know how to sit there and go, I got a plan. You don't know how to elevate yourself and allow yourself to become something you never was before because you're stuck being what you've become. So how could you become something new? With everything that's going on, do we always have to give everything energy? Or do we want to change the direction of our energy to benefit us, to magnify us, even this late and deep in the water that we are, this far out in the ocean and this deep in the water, the ocean we are, is there a lifeline? I love y'all. I wouldn't waste my time if I didn't. And I'm not confused, not conflicted. I'm afraid if I drink some more of this, I'm going to be like, hey, y'all, I'm going to have to give me like 5-10 minutes. I'm going to run upstairs and let me get to reading. And the other, you know, that's Big Mama Bessie, right? The live, nobody wanted to show up while I was driving. Yeah, we need Big Mamas back. We don't have any more. Don't get me wrong. I got a Big Mama family. Does she belong to the whole neighborhood, the community? She belong to the clan, the tribe? Or this your Big Mama? That ain't nobody's. That ain't no Big Mama. My Big Mama belonged to everybody. It was everybody. She was everybody's Big Mama. A lot of y'all don't know what it takes to be a Big Mama. That is so good. The blueberries and the... So anyway, let's go ahead and get to Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. Got a guy over here, vehicle like VGP, like I mean PGV, like with so many veterans over, like this person don't ever go nowhere, and he moves kind of funny when they're like this government vehicle. Not Navajo either. California, mind you. License plates. People are so dumb. Anyway. When was that Western? What Western was that, y'all? 1960s. Oh, Cartwright. All right, y'all. Okay, y'all. It's not. All right, that's before your time. Okay. Anyway, so we're still in the forward. When we left off, how can you miss a whole ship? The only other time I felt threatened was when we went up to a small outpost at the DMZ called Cuavet. Okay, and we're still getting to know him by his life. Cuavet. It was a vision right out of hell. Cuavet sat on the southern bank at the river mouth of the Thak Han River. We rode at anchor and pumped fuel ashore through a bottom ley line. Every night we could see the traces from firefights raging up and down the river and along the DMZ, the military zone. It was a real hot spot. Every once in a while, Viet Cong or NVA rockets would slam North Vietnamese armies, rockets would slam into the camp. We would perform an emergency breakaway and put to sea until the all clear was sounded. Everything was cool until our wacko captain decided we were going into the river mouth. Did you ever try to put a pencil through the eye of a needle? That's about comparable to what we did. Stop. You're playing with my foot. I'll never know how we got how we got that big ship through the narrow mouth of that river. I'm battling with the music here. There we go. That's better. Okay. I'll never know how we got that big ship through the narrow mouth of that river with no navigational references whatsoever. We dropped anchor mid-channel, and the captain backed the ship right up to the beach and dropped the stem anchor. That's right, it was stem back then. The stem anchor into the sand. There we sat, a great big target full of gasoline. Remember, he was on a tanker. All right. We were helpless in the mouth of a narrow river with 3 anchors out and right in the middle of one of the hottest combat zones in Vietnam. That night, several men in the crew wrote letters to the chief of naval operations requesting an immediate transfer. No one slept. I don't know why the enemy didn't send in the rockets, but they didn't. I knew then that God must keep a special watch over fools. The next day, we set to sea and started for Pearl. And the captain was relieved for incompetence later that year. He was relieved for incompetence. So as the captain did that dumb stuff that year. Then I was transferred to school. I wonder if we had A and C schools then. I didn't know what school I had drawn. It turned out to be the Naval Security Intelligence School for Internal Security Specialists, NEC 9545. The general training prepared me to set up, I love because I'm ex-Navy, set up security perimeters and secure installations and buildings and safeguard classified information. My training included special weapons, booby trap identification and disarming, and the detection of bugs, phone taps, transmitters, and many other subjects. Stuff I've been self-teaching myself for years. I was specifically trained to prepare and conduct Pacific Area Intelligence briefings, and from the day I reported to school in 1968, I was 2 years old, until I left the Navy, I worked off and on for naval security and intelligence. After graduating, I was transferred to Vietnam. I had volunteered over a year before because I figured that my chances were better in the war than they were on that screwed up gasoline tanker. This was the first good news I had had since leaving boot camp. I really wanted to fight for my country. He believed in a lie, y'all. I wasn't to find out what a real fool I was until a few years later. I landed at Da Nang and was bused to Camp. I was bused to Camp Carter. My uncle went there, I think. The headquarters for Naval Security and Intelligence. Everybody went through there. The I Corps. I was interviewed by Captain Carter, the commanding officer, and the names turned out to be a coincidence. Captain Carter asked me if I thought I would make a good patrol boat captain, and I told him that I would. What else could I tell him? I thought he was joking when he told me I would have command of a boat and crew. He wasn't, and I did. Lieutenant Dewey at the Harbor Patrol, a division of Naval Intelligence, allowed me to handpick a crew. He gave me first choice of 4 45-foot picket boats that had just been unloaded from the deck of a freighter. My new crew and I spent 3 days going over every inch of that boat. We adjusted and fine-tuned everything. We sanded and painted. One of the seamen even hung curtains in the after cabin. We checked and double-checked the engines, and my gunner's mate, GMG-3 Robert G. Barron, checked out weapons, and we began to arm our vessel. I've got to tell you the truth. Just looking at all those guns scared the out of me. I vowed right then and there that I would be the best damn captain who commanded a combat vessel in wartime. I learned to exist on only 2 or 3 hours of sleep, this sounds familiar, out of 24, and never ate until I knew that my crew had been fed. I was the same way when I was a supervisor. You guys, everybody eat? Everybody eat? All right, I'm grabbing mine, putting it in a box. Let's get back up to the shack. That's what I did, y'all. Everybody had hot meals and everything, and I pop it in a couple of boxes, brother. I'm taking them. We got work to do. Man, those were days. We spent a lot of spooky nights patrolling the Da Nang harbor and river. One night, a rocket hit the ammo dump at the river's edge near the Da Nang bridge, and it really looked as if the world were coming, to an end. Another time, we engaged the enemy in the cover at Point Isabella near the Marine Fuel Farm and probably saved their butts. That engagement was reported in the Stars and Stripes, the Armed Forces newspaper in Vietnam. Stars and Stripes, I used to get that all the time. Somebody saying hi, guys. And the worst moments came, however, not from Charlie, but from Mother Nature. A full-blown typhoon roared across the Gulf of Tonkin. To save the boats we put to sea, I maneuvered our boat in between 2 giant cargo ships riding at anchor off Red Beach and learned quickly what fear was really all about. The angels must have been laughing. What a sight we must have made. The wind was blowing so hard that none of us could go on deck. That meant that the 2 of us in the pilot house were stuck on watch, and the men trapped in the after cabin had to man the hand pumps. The windows in the pilot house blew out, and the rain felt like knives hitting our skin. Water poured in, and I prayed that the men on the pumps would not become exhausted. I could just barely make out the 2 tankers. I could tell you they were in more trouble than we. Oh yeah, typhoons. Oh man. When we were on the crest of the mountainous waves, we looked down on the top of the ships. We were in the trough. and we seemed to be in danger of their crashing down on us. One of the freighters snapped a cable and steamed slowly out of the harbor. The next morning, the storm calmed and we moved into the river. The breeze was floating down and we had to play dodge the tree trunks until we spotted a sheltered pier in front of the press club. We carefully pulled the boat alongside, tied fast to the pier, then collapsed from exhaustion. After a while, we drew straws to see who would remain on watch with me. The rest went into the press club, and after a couple of hours, the crew returned and we went in. It was like nothing was going on outside. Reporters sat around drinking or eating. All around flowed conversations and laughter, and we ordered a huge meal, signed Lieutenant Dewey's name to the check, and then went out to the boat. That sounds familiar. I don't know signing an officer's name to a check. Yeah, anyway, I don't even know if Lieutenant Dewey ever got the bill. I do know that it was one of the best damn meals that we ever had in that country. Early there was a time, I'm Vietnam era, and there was a time you could still do some things you definitely can't do now. You be in the brig for sure. Anyway, the next 2 days were spent repairing the boat, cleaning the weapons, and checking everything, especially that salt water. Man, I messed them 50 cals and Maduses and all that up. Then we went into the club, got stone drunk, and slept for damn near a whole other day. Kind of hangovers I liked. Bob Barron volunteered for Cuvette, and I begged him to stay with us. Maybe we could all go up later together. He couldn't wait. He had to have action. We promised each other that if one of us bought the farm, the other would drink a bottle of scotch in memory, then break the bottle on the rocks. Sounds familiar. Don't ask me what that was all about. Men who think they might die at any given moment do stupid things, and I was no different than most. No. We do it because it's who we become. About 3 weeks later, we learned that Bob's boat had gone on 2 Lima patrols on the That Han River one night and had never returned. No radio transmissions were ever heard, and for a while, no bodies were found. Then, one by one, they popped to the surface along the bank. It was a long time before we ever found the boat. When we did, it was twisted up like a pretzel. I say we because after I drank the bottle of scotch and broke it on the rocks, I forced the issue and was transferred to the Dong Ha River support group at Cua Viet. It was now a personal war. They had killed a part of me. And that's what happens when war. Most people don't want to be there, but then you see a friend of yours or somebody, you lose somebody. It doesn't matter how. And you vendetta. You want vengeance. The system knows how to work a war and create one. And that's on both sides, blind as we are to one another. Yeah. And our rivaling feelings and emotions and anger and hate. Anyway, Bob had been my friend. His name is on the Vietnam Memorial, and my boat engaged the enemy more times than any other boat that ever patrolled that river. We kept the enemy off the river, and I never lost another man. I was awarded the Naval Achievement Medal with Combat V for victory or valor, the Naval Commendation Medal with Combat V, and the Combat Action Ribbon. Our whole organization was awarded the Presidential Unit Citation. Yeah, we got that. A couple of them. The Naval Unit Citation, got that. And each of us accumulated various other minor awards, ribbons, and medals. Talk about it. Here he is on a patrol boat. You know the food was different, that's for sure. Look at my uncle, my father, them Vietnam pictures and all the other relatives. Wow. Anyway, one thing I didn't like about Vietnam was that it was very difficult to maintain until cohesion and morale. It was very difficult to maintain unit cohesion and morale, which we're having a hard time doing ourselves, my brothers and sisters. When you had proven and trusted men leaving all the time at staggered intervals and green, unproven men, FNGs, arriving to take their places. I noticed that I felt like I was deserting my crew when I was rotated home. I tried to extend my tour of duty, but they had already decided to phase out our forces and turn the war over to the Vietnamese. If I had extended a month earlier, I was told I could have stayed, and my attitude at that point was a smoldering, screw it. The whole time that I was in Vietnam, and especially on the demilitarized zone, DMZ, I had noticed that there was a lot of UFO activity. We had individual 24-hour crypto code sheets that we used to encode messages. But because of the danger that one of them could be captured at any time, we used special code words for sensitive information. UFOs, I was told, were definitely sensitive information. I learned exactly how sensitive when all the people of an entire village disappeared after UFOs were seen hovering above their huts. I learned that both sides had fired on the UFOs and they had blasted back with a mysterious blue light. Rumors floated around that the UFOs had kidnapped and mutilated 2 Army soldiers. I have some pictures that I can't put on here. That these mutilations aren't bombs. They're not machetes, chainsaws. They're not hatchets. They're not dynamite. These bodies look like they were surgically destroyed. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about quick. Like they were made confetti, like they were made ribbons. The pictures, look, man. Anyway, let me shut up. Drop them in the bush. Anyway, let me yeah, I got some stuff, bro. Anyway, soldiers, and then dropped them in the bush. No one knew how much of this was true, but the fact that the rumors persisted made me tend to think there was at least some truth in them. I found out later that most of those rumors were true. I eventually found myself back in Hawaii. This time it was shore duty at the headquarters of the Commander-in-Chief of the Pacific Fleet at Makalapa, a hill above Pearl Harbor. I had carried a secret security clearance in the Air Force, which was required for submarines. And when I checked into the Fleet Administration Unit, I was asked to fill out papers for another clearance. I did as I was asked, and I remember that one of the questions asked if I had ever belonged to any fraternal organizations. I looked down the list, circled the Demole Society, and answered in the affirmative. Affirmative meaning yes. Affirmative, sir. I was assigned to the operational status report offset. So did y'all get that? If he belonged to any fraternal organization? Okay. So anyway, I was assigned to the Operational Status Report Office, which is OPSTAT, all right, under Lieutenant Commander Mikado, while I waited the results of my FBI background check for the upgraded clearance. About 6 months later, I was called into the office of the Chief of Staff for Naval Intelligence. I was asked to read the regulations covering the Personal Reliability Program, PRP, I was part of PRP, governing those personnel who had access to nuclear weapons. Information on nuclear weapons, launch codes, and various other things having to do with nuclear weapons and anything that came under Headquarters HQ CR-44. I was asked to read and then sign a security oath, which I did. I was then told by Captain Caldwell that my security clearance had been upgraded to top secret. Q. Sensitive compartmentalization information with access authorized on a strict need-to-know basis. He told me to report to the officer in charge of the Sync Pack Fleet, which is CINC-PAC-FLIT. LT, excuse me. Intelligence briefing team the following morning at 0400 hours. I just know what it is. I'm just reading the nomenclatures. It doesn't have it. I know what it means. That's why I'm saying it. And I did. What I learned during the time I spent with that briefing team is what led me on my 18-year search that has culminated in the writing of this book. I was later given another upgraded clearance in the crypto category and served as the designated SPECAT, SPECAT operator when I was on watch in the command center. On the day that I learned that the Office of Naval Intelligence had participated in the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, on that day, I had learned that the Office of Naval Intelligence had participated in the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, and that it was the Secret Service agent driving the limo that had shot Kennedy in the head. I went AWOL with no intention of ever returning. My good friend Bob Swan is the one who talked me into the going back. Remember that shot? Boom. In the video, you see the driver. After all the shots had missed, the one that hit the and came through the window from the back, the one that came up through the shot hit McConnelly, hit him in the throat. He turned around and blew his brains out. She was already kind of disturbed and then took off because they had to stop at a complete stop so he could take him out. Watch the Zapruder film and kind of see it. There's a couple other films that all of a sudden arise. I'm just saying alleged. Let me get back to reading. My good friend Bob Swan is the one who talked me into going back. Later on, I shot. Anyway, he went AWOL with no intention of returning. My good friend Bob Swan is the one who talked me into going back. And later on, in June 1st, 1972, the eve of my wedding, I told Bob everything that I knew about the UFOs, Kennedy's assassination, the Navy, the secret government, the coming ice age, alternatives 1, 2, and 3, project. So you better believe if one doesn't work, the second one, they have 3, they have more. Project Galileo and the plan for the New World Order. I believed it was all true then, and I believe it is all true now. I must warn you, however, that I have found evidence that the secret societies were planning as far back as 1917 to invent an artificial threat from outer space in order to bring humanity together in a one-world government that they call the New World Order. I am still searching for the truth. I firmly believe that this book is closer to that truth than anything ever previously written. I attempted to leak information to a reporter after my discharge. I was forced off a cliff by a black limo in the hills of Oakland. Facts. I remember reading about that. 2 men got out and climbed down to where I lay covered in blood. One bent down and felt my carotid pulse. And the other asked if I was dead. The nearest man said no, but he will be. The other replied, good, then we don't have to do anything else. They climbed up and drove off. I succeeded in climbing up the bank where I waited until I was found. A month later, I was forced into another accident by the same limo. This time, I lost my leg. 2 men visited me in the hospital. They only wanted to know if I would shut up or if the next time should be final. I told them that I would be a very good little boy and that they needn't worry about me anymore. Under my breath, I swore to spill the beans as soon as I could figure out how to do it without getting hurt again. It took 16 years, $27,000, a computer, and a lot of envelopes, but now everyone knows. And here's William Cooper as presented with the Naval Commendation Medal with Combat Valor, St. Pac Fleet Headquarters, 1970. He was the E5. Check him out. I miss wearing my whites, boy. I look sharp in mine, boy. I still got a pair of them, man. I'm not that small yet, but I'm getting there. But yeah, boy, you talking about sharp? And we know how to rock them, brothers. We know how to rock them bell bottoms too with the core frames, man. Talking about sharp when your arms you fit it, and you got the Dix cap bent with the brim curled and it's slitting down kind of on your forehead, and you know you's a brawler. You can drink with the stallions, and all you. Okay, anyway. I'm reliving a moment. My apologies. Anyway, that was my boy Carlos. Anyway, I attempted. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Oh, here we go. And anyway, envelopes, but now everyone knows. I went back to school after leaving the Navy and obtained a degree in photography. Served as the chief instructor of the Coastal School of Deep Sea Diving and the head of the Mixed Gas Deep Saturation Diving Department. You figure after all that, I guess he was behaving, because otherwise they would have sabotaged him and he would have died down there. Department. And the underwater photography instructor for the College of Oceaneering. Admissions representative for Airco Technical Institute and assistant director of Adelphi Business College. Executive Director of Adelphi Business College, a National Marketing Coordinator of United Education and Software, Executive Director of Pacific Coast Technical Institute, and Executive Director of National Technical College. I also owned and operated Absolute Image Gallery and Studio of Fine Arts Photography. And in the spring of 1988, I saw, yeah, I was well in the Navy by then. I was deep in. I saw a magazine that made references to a document discovered by the research team of Moore, Moore, Chandera, and Friedman that outlined the government's knowledge of a down saucer, dead alien bodies, and an operation called Operation Majestic 12. They weren't just dead bodies. Were they the Greys who refused to help and wanted to change? Or were they ones that crashed doing something they weren't supposed to do and the government had to recover them because they worked side by side with them? Based upon the custodians and the Anunnaki? I'm just throwing it out there. Anyway. So anyway, outlined the government's knowledge of a down saucer, dead alien bodies in an operation called Operation Majestic 12. I knew that Moore and Friedman, a lot of y'all heard of Majestic 12, right? The operation, look it up. I knew that Moore and Friedman were government agents and the document was a fraud. I had never heard of Chandera, exactly. I knew this because I had seen a list of agents who were to initiate a contingency plan called Majestic that would lead investigators off the track when such a need arose. That's what it was about. Look it up. I decided that it was time for me to enter the arena and expose the cover-up and the disinformation. First, it was necessary to convince the known agents that I was just a cook who didn't really know anything. Then I prepared some bogus information, mixed it with some true information, and passed it to Moore and Friedman through Jim Spicer, the operator of a computer BBS network called Paranet. Spicer was told that the information was to go only to Moore or Friedman, and no one else was to see it. I wanted to buy time by convincing these agents to report me to their case officers as harmless, thus allowing me to get the real information out to the public. None of the information was intended to go to the public. Spicer turned out to be working with Moore, however, and posted the files on the computer networks. Spicer then went to Los Angeles, conferred with Moore for 3 days, and returned and then barred me from the Paranet system. Friedman called and elicited my address, the name and address of my employer, and a lot of other personal information. I knew that I was being checked out through the intelligence network and played along. About 1 week after talking to Friedman, you couldn't do that now because of the VPNs and this, that, and the other. With a phone, the location, money well stored up they couldn't trace. Very possible back then. Anyway, and a lot of other personal information. I knew that I was being checked out through the intelligence network and played along. About 1 week after talking to Friedman, 2 Defense Investigative Service agents showed up at my home and confiscated all my floppy disks. The only thing that prevented them from taking my computer was the fact that it was an XT with no hard drive. I knew that my plan had worked because they didn't take me. With the help of Annie and a few very close and trusted friends, I prepared the real information as true and correct as I could remember. And together we did a mailing that all total cost me $27,000. We sent the packages to people all over the world. That is what prevented the government from arresting me or harming me. Any move by them would be interpreted as total confirmation of everything that I had revealed. I also uploaded the information onto computer bulletin boards all across the nation. At the same time, I publicly stated that Moore, Chandera, and Friedman were government agents and that the Eisenhower briefing document is a fraud. I was attacked by everyone. They insisted that Moore, Chandera, and Friedman were above reproach. I resigned effective April 15, 1989, from the college where I was the executive director after James Chandera was seen poking around the grounds. That story is included later in this book, and the loss of income was a serious blow. Stan Barrington, the head of the college security department, came to our aid. Stan gave us $5,000 to help out. I was deeply moved by his faith and trust in me, and so I gave him 24% of whatever was to come and out of my efforts down the line. Neither of us ever expected much, and so far, we have not been wrong. I have, however, paid Stan back his money, and now whatever he earns is extra. Stan is in charge of printing information and the sale of my papers and tapes. Stan Barrington is my only authorized representative. I wonder if he's even alive. I'm going to have to look into that. Moore was proved to be an agent when, by his own admission on July 1st, 1989, he stated he had participated in spying on fellow researchers and had changed documents, had put out disinformation, and had helped run a scam on Paul Benowitz. So there are some good Jews out there. That had resulted in Mr. Benowitz being confirmed to a mental institution. So I need y'all to pay attention. Moore stated that he had been recruited by an elite intelligence agency and that he knew he had been recruited. He was a witting agent. That means a witting agent means willing. Okay? And no one acknowledged that I had been right. From that point on, my Annie and I were followed and harassed. Death threats began showing up on an answering machine. The phone would ring several times during the night, but no one would reply when we answered. So that tells you that these agents are narcissists, sociopaths, or psychotic. They are picked to do this, and they're willing. Are you paying attention, people? I think it's kind of fun. I'm not here to stop it. I think it's pretty awesome. Anyway, sometimes a man would deliver another death threat. Government cars would park out in front, and well-dressed men watched the house. The strangest people began to show up at our door sometimes in the middle of the night. I purchased a .380 automatic for Annie and a 9mm for me. I taught Annie how to shoot, and she will not hesitate to kill anyone who attempts to harm me, her or our little daughter. Annie and Pooh, Dorothy's nickname, are the lights in my life. Annie and I were married on July 4th, 1989. Pooh was born on May 30th, 1990. My most touching memory of Annie is of the time after 12 excuse me, of labor, when we were finally in the delivery room. She had taken no drugs. She had not been given a spinal tap. I'm ready to blow a hole in that wall with some dynamite. Anyway, she did everything naturally. She was drained of energy and was experiencing great pain. She was numb. After a really hard push, she looked up at me with all the innocence and trust of a little child and asked, "Did the baby come yet?" It was very hard for me to tell her that. Dynamite is mine, not TNT, tetranitrile. Don't ever get it twisted, people. I know. Wisdom has always been trying to catch you, but you just keep running faster than it. Anyway, the baby had not yet been born, but that is what I did. She seemed to waver for a moment, but only a moment. Annie quickly regained her composure, and I could see the love in her eyes as she looked up at me. I squeezed her hand, and she took a deep breath and pushed Pooh's little head out into the world. The doctor suctioned the baby's mouth, then Annie gave her all a push. That seemed to come from her very soul. And little Dorothy popped out, announcing her presence with a great cry. I am so proud of Annie. She is my hero, and Pooh is my always and forever friend. And here is his wife, Anne and Dorothy. That's Anne, and that's Dorothy. Yes, she was Chinese, people, and a wonderful woman. Y'all know how I feel about racism and all that dumb, goofy stuff, okay? That's not with it. Somebody said, would you ever marry? I knew a couple of Chinese girls from New York. My cousins, Brian Banquist Sr. Chinese. But I married dark kind of, but yeah. Not these ones that walk around trying to emulate being pale skinned. No, but I prefer to be with my sisters. But I would not do a marriage like what y'all come to believe a marriage is. The two that I did for them because I wasn't into that. I was like, we could get together with all that. Because once we do that, we don't even belong to each other. And they ignored it because you know how religion messes people's heads up. And then especially people who do evil anyway. So we got a little more. Let's see how much more we got before we get into the forward. It's good. Remember what I stated. It's good to know the character of the person, real or not. We only got like 3 more pages, and they're very short before we get into the silent weapons for quiet wars, okay? And then later on, we'll come back on, regardless of how I'm feeling, and we're going to make it through all 7 books because I got to get those books. It's important. You know how I am about the Heavens Bearer. I can't even read just short chapters. I got to read like 5 more, you know what I mean? But we'll go ahead and get that. like I stated, let me finish drinking this one quick. It's got avocado in there too. Avocado. Some fat, good for the brain. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the reading. Thanks again for the donations. I was surprised at T. I was like, my boy sent me $20. And you know what? Let me show you the. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all. I wasn't gonna show y'all. God dang it. Well, hold on. What did you say, Mario? Hell yeah, I appreciate it. I'm waiting on a ride from my girlfriend. Man, shut up with I'm waiting on a ride from my girlfriend shit. I know where you can walk over here, you lazy ass. I'm gonna give him the business. So anyway, again, Timmy S.D. Hines, appreciate you, brother. $5, $10, it doesn't matter, $2. It all adds up enough to where I can order a damn decent couple of books. You know what I mean? Instead of me breaking my thing. Breaking, I mean, I don't mind, but let me see what that book is. No, that's the armed, what you call it. Let me go back over here. Civil War. What was that? I don't know. I think I put it on the screen, right? Because I don't want to go all the way up here. I don't want to like chasing. I know I put it on the screen. Okay, here we go. Amazon. Okay, and all right, the complete 54 book, the Apocrypha. I want to read the Apocrypha because I believe that it's important. Okay, it's just me. I'm not saying you have to listen or whatever. I believe it's important. That way people have a better understanding about certain things, especially you individuals who are really religious about items in exchange price. It increased? Holy smack. And that one increased to, that's only $1 increase, bro. I'm cool with that. I'm gonna have to order the second book, the Emerald Tablets, too. That's $32.40. So I'll probably order that Emerald Tablets, the second one, the compendium of the Emerald Tablets. I might order that today. And then I might wait till next week. I'm gonna get to a certain amount to order certain books beyond esoteric. These things go in lieu of everything that I'm doing. When we get done, when you go through 5 or 6 books, I know some of y'all starting to realize these things are all starting to make a sense. You're starting to, it's like binary. You're starting to see a code. You dig what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I started seeing it. Because I was just wanting to read a whole lot of stuff. And I started realizing, wait. I just read 2 books. And I'll go get those 2 books. And I was reading. I was like, holy smack. And then I said, wait a minute. Somebody said something about that book. And I would go get that book. And then it became natural. So that's what I'm doing. Let me pull up this one book. Let me see if I can pull this one book up. Native American Herbalist Bible. $35.34, and I bet it's going to go up because I looked at it. So I'm going to add it. I'm going to add it. Yeah, I'm going to add it. So boom, and then let me go back. I'm gonna go back and all right, let me change that out. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all. Go. The Irish in America is not what I was looking for. Here we go. I gotta get this. Because they'll go with the other books. The Constitution of the Confederate States of America. Confederacy. Do you know what? It has nothing to do with we know that by watching Hollywood and everything, they've made Confederacy as if it's a mad thing. The Confederacy was all all the earth was a confederacy. Tartaria was a confederacy. Over a 1 billion strong army, it was based on a confederacy. The liberal democratic society, Pan-American, that means from afar, usurped and changed the narrative and destroyed from the inside by working on the outside. So, yeah, and I've decided that, I mean, I can get the Kindle for $4.99. So these things I'll get once the amount's right. And what was that one I ordered? I don't care what customers bought. Customers know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Okay. I hate when it does that. So I got them all in there, and that's one. So that's only 106 something. And then I'm definitely looking at the book of Earths, Hollow Earth, Ancient Maps, Atlantis, and Other Theories, Forgotten Books. Now that right there, I should buy that right now. You know what? I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna get all the books at one time, and then the ones that, like I said, I'm gonna have to check the mail today. I'll go out there at 3 o'clock and check the mail, and then after I get back from checking that mail, I'll go ahead and we'll get into the other 7 books. We'll finish. I think 2 of them is about to be completed, and then we'll take it and we'll start adding the next phase. And the ones that I've been kind of like giving little excerpts, those go together as well. So it makes a finite line. It gets somewhere. It actually, well, it's all getting somewhere. It's delivering and taking. It's carrying us from one vernacular to the other, and it's allowing us to have an imagine, to open up horizons and allow us to see a different proprietor of another. To me, I'm ecstatic about it. That's why I'm always watching Nappy Poet. When she's reading and stuff, I'm like, and her friends, I'm like, I just sit there and I'll be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I get excited when I see people. And then there's some other people, I go and check them out, and I'm like, okay, well, you're talking some good stuff. Wait a minute now. Here we go. I'm done. Click. Now, I do that. Sometimes I just turn it down and let it play out just to help the channel, because the views are important. You know what I'm saying? So I let it play through. That's what I do to people. There's people I follow, man. Sometimes they're talking about something I can't stand them. I'll just turn it down. I'll put it over there on charge and let it play just to support them. Even though I don't like it, just because I see things different from everybody else. And most people, if I was to say it, then they would stop. Everybody would stop. They would just stop the whole thing. YouTube would. You know what I mean? It's important. To me, it's important. Excuse me. To me, I find it very important that love, when you start getting more in touch with love, some people think love means that you're supposed to be, yeah. No, love don't mean you won't. I love me that much. And this doesn't have to be with a violent nature or heart. I can execute violence at the highest level based upon me having total love. And I believe at the highest level of love and self-enlightenment, I don't even have to touch you. I believe that. I believe the things that I'm going through, things I'm allowing myself to see, and me sharing it, regardless of how anybody thinks or feel, is allowing something else. I don't get it. From when I started first having cluster headaches a couple of weeks ago, right here, and me studying, knowing physiology and anatomy, to how I dealt with it, compared to how I would have normally just took something I don't even have I don't have Tylenol. I think in my med packs and all that, I have Tylenol and Advil and all that crap. Maybe I'm codeine that I may have stored up just in case of emergencies, but none went in my medicines cabinet in the bathroom. I I feel it and I think through it. And there's other things. But yeah. So anyway, y'all know I love y'all. I'm gonna get some shout outs. I appreciate y'all coming. Inform the other people. The notifications may have been changed. Put it up, make a little post so other people can see it who might be following and not haven't seen any of my lives. Not everybody's a lot going on in the world. Some people may have transitioned. We don't know. We want to hope that they don't. We want to send a little blissful prayer out there. There's nothing wrong with the word prayer. Raise energy, frequency, however you may want to state it. I want to make these where it's family friendly, even though I'll put down not for, I'm going to do videos that are children friendly, and it has to be. I just feel like it's a necessary, even though they're going to see these anyway if they choose to. And I appreciate everybody taking the time to come and watch this mumbo jumbo overhead, read some goofy books, regardless of the dynamic or what may come from it. All right, beloved sisters, I'm gonna give a shout out, and to my wonderful brothers. Remember, the women are powerful, very powerful, and they create and put in us and allow us to become so powerful that we can protect their power. Know this. It's not an ego. It's not a better than. One cannot perform without the other. Trust me. And we must allow it to be. Because what we are learning is reverse. And it is wrong. And the sun is not a male. It is a female. It is the feminine energy. For the narrative of feminine and masculine. The moon is the masculine at night to protect and to allow rest, to be up, to be assertive and stand firm, and the sun to nurture, to feed the minerals, the D, the zinc, the magnesium, the lao, the chlorophyll. You get where I'm coming from? Like the breasts, the pap, and the moon, the night, to allow the calm and have respite. I hope you're getting it. Shout out to everybody that came in. Rondo, what's going on? Rap. ABJR, Great Wolf, what's good? Equator, what's cracking? Yeah, West Side, Navi Poet, what's up, mama? You still haven't made your way through yet. You've been all around. All you know how to swing through and hit the honk, because I'll be out there going, hit it again. I don't care about the neighbors, hit it again. You know, come and have some tea, girl. The Doomsday Book. You know what? I think I might have. You know what? Let me. You know what? The Doomsday Book. Check that out, y'all. I wouldn't even say nothing because y'all know I've got books on apocalyptic and all that stuff, and I'm want to do something else. But those are good as well. Let me see what the price is of the Doomsday Book, because that is a excellent. Why is this going slow? What's up, Papa? Oh, no, I'll give you some in a moment. Okay, I'll give you some in a minute, okay? Because I know they have a Doomsday movie or like a, what do you call it? Like one of those Nova, like things like that. I've seen that before. Oh, are you talking about the Connie Willis one? Because that one right there, I mean, because Badlands, they made TV shows and stuff out of that. That's like zombie apocalyptic. But then you have the Dark Days of the Apocalypse. But the Doomsday books, there's like 3 or 4 of them. I know the ones that I might have is I don't even see it. But this is the one that right here that I would get right here. This one right here. I don't know if this is the one you're talking about. You might be talking about like one of the original ones. But let me see if I can pull that up. Jane Willis's winner of the Hugo and Nubile Awards Doomsday Book. That's like about $10. Dead ass. I mean, that's one looking into. But then I have a book called Doomsday Clock. I have that. I've had that for a long time. Now the other one I think is like about $30. Let me see if I can pull that up. I close. Okay. And you have the original, and it's an old one, from what I understand. Here's what it looks like. Let me see if I can. Oh, they got a new one, and it's got the COVID crap. But the original one didn't have that. This is what it looked like. So, the science behind humanity's greatest threats, Doomsday Book. That is. I'm not even gonna bother with that because we all know a little more about that bull crap now. And I'm just not even gonna feed into that one. But yeah, they have quite a few I know, but I know that I have the Doomsday Clock, which because in the military we had all that, we have the colors, and sometimes we always walk by the red rooms and be like, well, oh shit, we're at orange. Or we're at yellow. Why are we at yellow? Where we at? Then we know when we cross certain meridian lands in the ocean, we're like, oh man, you know. That's something we had to contend with when I was in the Navy. So and then you have the ones that talk about robots and all that kind of stuff. I mean, unless you're gonna start getting into William Johnston or Peccolo, the Italian, what I wanted by the Italian author, Pecolino, whatever the frick. There's a lot of doomsdays. For military people, we always look at the guys who prep and all that. We look at a lot of doomsday stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm looking at that one right there. I'm thinking about getting that one, so I'm gonna lock in on that one because I don't have that one. And that looks like yeah, I'm gonna add that. But there's quite a few. That's good that you even mentioned that. Appreciate it. So yeah, see what I'm talking about, guys? And regardless of what I have, it's always good to look at other things. There's usually not just one book. Sometimes there's 15 or 20. You'd be amazed at how much information is out there. The thing is, it's all like a puzzle. If you're gonna read stuff, and we've all seen it, and you're gonna put it out there like as if it's all literal, and we've seen the damage that is done. That's the worst thing. That's why I love watching Navi. And I love watching, certain individuals who like to read things. Kuramil reads a lot and fabulous, very informative. There are individuals who I will always pay attention to. And then those of us who have walked in the majority of all our lives, who have not just the oratory skills, but who are oracles of the oracle, the oral part of the history family, should share those things. And that's how I move. I was, as the oldest son, privileged to hear things that not everybody got to hear. And so, look at that. My beard is going all kind of things, man. What in the smiggle smack? Anywho, again, I appreciate y'all taking the time. We're at an hour and 25. Let me finish giving shout outs. What was that? I'm trying to cash and download the app, but it had a little code. Got it. Okay, take your time, hon. Zelle, you've got my name and stuff on Zelle. I prefer not Zelle, but yeah, it's up to you, hon. Yeah, I don't uninstall my Cashapp because I have stocks. I don't. I leave it. Nobody's messing with my thing. And you have two-party, two-system, all that kind of stuff, which is easy to remember. That Doomsday Book had $32,000 price tag, but I found it online. Which one are you talking about? Oh, you talking about, yes. No, I'm not talking about all that, baby girl. Yeah, you talking about all. Oh yeah. Yeah, you talking about something way out there. Yeah, I don't that stuff like that. That's good. That's good stuff. Let me see. You're talking about for billionaires. No, that's shelters and stuff. Oh, okay. Yeesh. Ooh. Nope. You're talking about something like kind of biblical like. Yeah, even the way that looks, man. That's just that even looks spooky. I'm not even messing with it. That might be even made with human flesh. Yeah, I wouldn't even. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what you're talking about, baby girl. Oh no. I'm with the books, and then you got the G.H. Martin and Williams. Ooh. I didn't even see what she just did, y'all. I wouldn't even ever look because I don't. I'm gonna keep it as cheap as we can afford, y'all. I wouldn't care if my daughter dropped in my account right now. I'd be like, nah, I'm not getting that. Yeah, I'm not saying, I know what you're saying. But you know what? You can have PDF, as expensive as it may be. Humans! I'm serious. You could, yeah. Anyway. Let me save that to my screen. And I think that one's more comical. Okay, that's a shortcut. And then this one right here. One page count 1,456, published 2003. Holy shit. And that just strictly says Doomsday Book. That's G.H. Martin. That was one of the ones I was reading on what you call it? G.H. Martin. But this one, holy smack. Get the book, and it says, let's see what it says on here. Penguin Random House. That's where and Barnes & Nobles, they still sell books, guys. That one's $34. But yet over here, it won't even load that page. That is pretty friggin' weird. Yeah, that's $34, son. I'm gonna have to add that. And these are $34. So I'm gonna have to look into that one, Navi, see what I'm talking about? See, that's the person likes to go outside the box instead of everything with everybody. See, this is what I'm talking about when you see people who are meant for this. And that's why I say subscribe and support one another and stop the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? 1066, 1200s, okay. All right. Land heritage. No, okay, she's still okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. Predates 1800 census. It's down there. I'm not paying that money for that one. Holy smoky. Yeah. Whoo, child. Had me running around. The little bit of mohawk I got. I'll be looking like homeboy Tyson when he starts shaving patches in his head because he was doing too much of that stuff in the bathrooms. With family name in it. Whoa, no kidding. With family name in it? Are you serious? Which one is that, Nav? Okay. Oh, Peter. That's a different book. Okay. Oh, y'all having it. Okay. All right. I got so many books in PDF. It's crazy. Yeah, me too, man. And that's stuff I've been sharing for a long time. For my LTD publishing on. Let's see. Let me go to DuckDuckGo because I'm tired of Google. I am tired of Google. Trust me. I have had my, you know what I mean? Isn't it? Yeah. I'm gonna make sure. Yeah. It's gonna make sure I'm on the right. And that's who it's published by. That's just okay. In the name of the book. Yeah. Okay. Put up over here. Holy shit. And then next Journal Society of more results. 1903. Shit. What in the holy masses? And then they pulled John Morris back up again. I'll tell you, I'm getting that one. I don't care. That's just, even though it's 1986, I don't care. 1975. And then you got Peter William and Thomas Kilby. That's just going, yeah. And when you get into England, I don't even like messing with them because them secret societies, they'll have a lot of misinformation and stuff that run you in circles. Now, David Roth, I've got a couple of his books. And he has one, decoding Doomsday. That's one I would really like to purchase. Let me see if I can pull it up on Amazon, because I would like to and it might be in Google Books, so I don't know. We'll see. Because I actually have the things. I have a shortcut on my what you call it, based on Google Books. But let me see if I can pull up decoding. See if it's in Amazon. Hey, excuse me. David Roth. $30.33, and we got a whole bunch. We got 5 in stock. But don't be hating on me. Even Kindle's $24.95. I'm used to Kindles being no more than about $10. God dog. So I'm gonna have to go ahead add that to the cart. Okay, I got 7 in there at damn near $175, and that's not included. That's just now. That ain't including the $200 and some other dollar ones, them expensive books. But anyway, I'm gonna put that down. So you know which one is it? National Archives. What is that? I'm gonna have to check that out later there, Rep, because I don't want to go off of it. Let me see on here. Let me go on here and see what you. Let me see what you pull up. So you see, I would be off because I'll drink that damn thing. What is you doing, cuz? No. Oh, there we go. I'm excited. Okay. Turn it down. I don't want to hear you. Damn boy. I'm retarded. Okay. Let me, National Archives, what you got there? Doomsday Book, how to look for records. Oh, I don't care about looking for no goddamn records. I see what you use. Keywords, you can pull up a lot of stuff that we're discussing. I like that. No. Where's the damn book? No, people need to learn how to use their brains, honey. You trying to make it easy for them. Fuck all that. Forget all that. No, people use your brains. Don't be using nothing easy. That's what y'all can use that for a search engine. So baby girl made sure she put that there. Use that for a search engine. But some of y'all need to learn how to use your brains. I'm not going to use that. Thank you, baby. That's awesome. That's very informative. King's book, and it shows who had land rights. I'm looking for those folks that came here with inheritance rights. I did what you're saying, Nav. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'll probably go. I'll get a little deeper when I get off here. I'll go on the laptop and I'll pull up some stuff. That's pretty awesome. Awesome. Very informative. Very informative. That's what I like. See what I'm talking about, y'all? So please, everybody, we join in. Like I was saying, Tomahawk, and I believe with Rondo and Westside, I believe the 4 of us can do what we need to as far as with traumas. And then after that, we can start looking outside because, you know, on an acre, do you know on an acre of land, you can put 4 or 5 family homes? On an acre, you could put 4 or 5 family homes. 1 acre. Could you imagine 30 families on 20 acres? Do you know what that is? That is not just a communal. Do you know the importance of what can be done? Self-reliance, everything else, and the work, even medicine, nurses, natural herbs, greenhouses. Even if you was to build it underground, nobody could tell us where to build anything. The problem is y'all don't know how to sit up and go, enough. We need this to happen. I don't like sharing this information on here because they're watching. Not that I give 2 shits. I'm just saying, because they're going to do what they're going to do. The thing is, you're not going to do what you need to. Yeah, a plug. That's what I read. You remember I was reading yesterday and I read a plug? That's acreage. It has everything to do with it. Has nothing to do with a plow coming through. And people don't get it. But if they pay attention when it was being read, they would know that it's talking about the land. When I was reading Ottoman Empire, we're going back to a certain land based upon pressure, this, that, and other, and it had a plug in there. It has nothing to plow. It has nothing to do with a plow, but the land reserved for the certain king, and this one that had his nose cut off and all that. Yeah. That's why I love to read. They'll get it, though. They'll get it. So, yes. Oh, right. Yeah, I fell asleep reading through this right here. Yeah, I wish she was here so I can read it to you. Pretty awesome, pretty awesome. So, yeah, that's my own personal read right there, y'all. Yeah, I ain't reading nothing, man. Y'all ain't getting none of that. I might start reading some of the Mark Twain books I got somewhere down the road, just to, Captain Stormfield's Visit to Heaven. I'm not going to read the one with the word nigga and all that in there. We're not even going to do all that no more. I'm cutting those out of my vocabulary. So, again, let me get off of here. I appreciate everybody. 3 o'clock, check the mail. 2:30, 3 o'clock, check the mail. Get my second, hopefully last meal. I'm going to eat 2 meals instead of just the one. And I want to get to where I can go a week or two. I've done it before with nothing but the weaning off of that crap and having to take it for the 2 days I did when I was going through whatever that was. And then, see, I had that fish yesterday. They wanted to profess and say this, that, and other. These hospitals are being given directives. They need more death. And any hospital that will follow it, even though they're decent, they do it in pure ignorance. And it's always going to get them in the end. And y'all need to know this as well. We come together or we can stay apart. You dig what I'm saying? We can come together or we can stay apart. All right? See y'all later, all right? Love you guys. Remember, smile and dig deep for that real love. It's not perverted. It has nothing to do with sex, this, that, and other. Look at self. Extrapolate on the mirror. Allow yourself to become who you're supposed to become. Women, become as powerful as you are. You have my energy at your, and all the other men's who are worth something, and increase ours tenfold. And this is a reality. It's a truth. It's not a mate. It's a reality. Love you all and respect all of you guys. All my walks of life. Okay?